Hi again, Gregg Bell, the News Tribune in the desert, Glendale, Arizona. What did we learn today? The Seahawks finally looked like they planned on, designed on, hoped to look the entire season. Now, of course, a lot of that's because they were playing the winless Cardinals, who really are starting over completely. Rookie head coach, rookie quarterback in Kyler Murray. But more than that, it's how the Seahawks beat the Cardinals 27-10, starting with Chris Carson. All week, Pete Carroll's defending him, saying he still trusted his lead back despite the 4 lost fumbles in 3 games. Carson comes out today, goes for 104 yards rushing. He's running with the ball like this, both arms and hands over it, hunched over. Another 41 yards in receiving. 145 yards is his second highest total yardage game of his career. He answered if there were any doubts. There weren't any in the minds of Pete Carroll and the Seahawks coaching staff, but he answered doubts that he may still be the Seahawks lead rusher. He is, and he is absolutely essential to what the Seahawks do the rest of this season, fumbles or not. If Carson's not running, then the Seahawks offense can't function. They can't throw on every down. We've talked about it many times. Today he was running. It set up deeper play action passes and longer reads for Russell Wilson in the passing game. Wilson goes 22 of 28, another 114 passer rating day for Wilson, the touchdown pass to Dez Lee. But the offense is completely different when Carson is running and, of course, not fumbling. Dez Lee's day, it continues to marvel, even the Seahawks, on how his return, he's looking like Kellen Winslow. 12 months, less than 12 months to the day on this field, he ruptured his patella tendon in his knee. That's a tricky knee injury. That's not a garden variety arthroscopic knee surgery or even knee reconstruction. It's more than that. And Dez Lee was telling me last week that some doctors and medical people were advising him after the surgery last fall, that he may not come back as he was in the past, that many football players don't make it back from this patellar ruptured tendon in his knee. Well, he has, and how? 4 touchdowns now this season, leading the Seahawks. Another one today. 7 catches, a career high. Catches the ball outside of his hands, nothing like a defensive end that he was at the University of Washington, and the trust that Russell Wilson has. What Wilson explained after the game, that he and Dez Lee talk a lot. They go to Bible study together with the team. They talk before the game. They give head nods to each other during pregame warm-ups on spots on the field that they're throwing to, as if to keep it in mind for later. In fact, the first touchdown, the only touchdown pass of the day, a fade route to the left corner of the end zone to Dez Lee in the second quarter, was exactly that, a play, a spot on the field that Wilson said he just kind of gave a look to Dez Lee in pregame warm-ups as if to say, that's where we're going later in the game. And then Dez Lee told the quarterback in the locker room right before kickoff, I think I'm going to have a big game today, and he did. Defensively, Jadeveon Clowney looked like he is supposed to look. The leaping interception, leaping up with his left hand and tapping the ball to himself of Kyler Murray in the first half. That's the kind of game-changing plays they've traded with Houston to get. 27-yard return in which he outran J.R. Sweezy, who wasn't going to catch him for the touchdown. But what's remarkable about that play is Clowney at 6'5" leaped and tapped that ball to himself while still getting blocked by Sweezy. He read a screen pass to David Johnson that the Cardinals were using early in the game. It turned the game around. It was a 3-0 game at that point, became 10-0 Seahawks, and that pretty much was over. So the pass rush showing up. Ziggy Ansah got some push today, although nothing on the stat sheet for pass pressure, but the Seahawks got their hands up. Quentin Jefferson said that was the focus all week. Clint Hurt told me, hey, it's not always about the sacks. The defensive line coach said it's also about getting hands in the face of the quarterback. They did that. Batted a couple passes down. L.J. Collier, the rookie first-round pick, got his hands up and forced a high pass from Murray that Shaquille Griffin broke up in the first drive of the game. That is going to be the Seahawks' MO against quick passing offenses on the defensive line, not just to get the sacks, but to get their hands up. Of course, it's easier to get in the way of a sub-6-foot quarterback like Murray. Quentin Jefferson said that was the hardest player he's ever had to try to corral in his football life. Murray had only 206 yards net passing with the Seahawks defense today. He had a couple 300-yard games coming into this, and the Cardinals really never threatened. Once it was 20-10 on a Murray touchdown with 10 minutes left in the game, this place got a little bit loud. at least louder than it was when T-shirts were getting cannoned into the crowd in the third quarter when people were going nuts. But then the Seahawks answered with an 8-minute drive, 15 plays to put the game away. Luke Wilson returned, third down catch to keep the drive alive. He said it was one of the worst routes he's run in a while, not one of his better ones. And he was supposed to be open a lot sooner on that third down play that Wilson waited, and finally threw and flipped the playground style pass to him. All in all, a very reassuring day. And yes, they're already looking forward to the Rams. After the game, the players were huddled around TVs in the locker room watching the end of the Buccaneers upsetting the Rams in LA today. The Seahawks play the Rams on Thursday night, on a short week this weekend at CenturyLink Field. And the Seahawks were hooping and hollering and yelling around when Ndamukong Suh forced the game-clinching turnover in the final seconds of that Buccaneers-Rams game on television. So everything reassuring that the Seahawks are at least capable of playing the way they are designed to. Of course, we'll find out if they can do it against the defending NFC champions as easily as they did today against the winless Cardinals. All my coverage is online at thenewstribune.com and on Twitter at GBellSeattle. As always, thank you for watching.